Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today is the day 29 for our Fortigate Firewall series. So in this video, we are going to understand how we are going to forward logs from Fortigate. In this video, we are going to understand what is log and why we need them. What are the types of logs? How to configure log forwarding in Fortigate Firewall and how to check the logs are going to the Syslog servers or not, right? So basically what we are trying to achieve over here, which is very much important, why logs are needed, okay? And if the logs are sent to the Syslog servers, what are the configuration that is needed, which is very much important, guys, because this logs will be useful when we troubleshoot, okay? Any critical issue or any simple issue, or let's say dropping of a traffic or something like that, right? So I'll request you to please watch this video till the end so that you can understand this and you can apply in your real-time environment. And also I'll request you please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that you never miss a video from me. So without any further delay, let's get started. So friends, now we'll understand what is log. Okay. Now log is basically a record. Record of what? Record of events that is happening in the device. Okay. What kind of events? Now there are multiple events that happens. When we do any configuration, we are doing changes in the device, right? When let's say memory utilization or the CPU utilization or something like the bandwidth utilization is high, in that case that is also an event, right? And also when the packets are coming, like when the traffic is coming, whether it is getting allowed or it is getting denied, that is also an event. So we need to record that event. That is the reason device generates a log. Now, why we need those logs? Let's say during the configuration, if something wrong happened and after that particular configuration, the traffic is not working. So we have to check what was wrong in that particular configuration, right? That event help us to understand what was the issue. Even in case if we are not monitoring the device or if we are not checking, or if there is no event that happened, like if there is no logs that happened, if the memory utilization is high or the CPU utilization high, we will not be able to troubleshoot. If we are not troubleshooting, the device may go in the hang state or we will not be able to do anything, right? Same goes for traffic which is going through the firewall, right? It is getting allow or it is getting deny, or there are a lot of features like application control, URL filtering. So those kind of features are allowing that particular traffic or denying the particular traffic, and what is the reason behind this. So everything will be recorded, and that particular record is an event as a log it generates, okay, for troubleshooting purpose, right? So this is very much important, guys. We have to basically take care of the logs. Then only, let's say if the server TV is coming to you and telling like from 2 o'clock to 2:30 my server was not available, can you check the logs and let me know what was the reason behind this? So you have to check the logs, right? Logs are very much required for troubleshooting, for event what happened, what was there, whether that particular device is basically useful in that particular environment or not, whether the interface bandwidth where the WAN connectivity is there, if we have taken 100 Mbps, whether that 100 Mbps is sufficient for us or not, with the help of log, like if the bandwidth utilization is high, we'll get a log, right? The bandwidth utilization is 80%, 90%, something like that. So we can come to the conclusion that it is not the 100 Mbps is not sufficient. We have to go and upgrade to 200 Mbps. So this is very much required, guys. Logs are very much required for troubleshooting purpose and understanding whether the device is suitable for that particular condition or not. Okay. So now let's understand, we have got so many events, right? Now there should be some kind of types which is there, right? So we'll talk about what kind of logs that is available, right? So friends, now we'll understand the type of logs basically, okay? With the help of this diagram, or I can say image, you will be able to understand, okay? The log has some severity levels, which is basically generic or common for all the devices, okay? Now the value starts from 0 to 7, basically 8 levels or 8 levels of severity, okay? Now if you closely see this severity, you will notice that there are some warning, there is some information, there are some error, there are some notices, right? Now mostly the information, for an example, the information says that whether the rules are getting allowed or not, okay? So there should be some kind of severity label for that particular log. Let's say the CPU utilization is about 95%. Then it might be a critical alert, okay, or some kind of alert related to alert or some kind of error. So we cannot categorize it. It is categorized by whom? It is categorized by the device, right? What kind of log that I have to generate, okay? If there is a 0 value, like the emergency severity alerts, right? We have to take a look at it first, okay? Now if I talk about debug logs meaning that the messages which is opened for everything, meaning that let's say you have a firewall and there is a device and it is going to connect some server. Now the traffic is coming to the firewall, it's checking the rules, and after that it's creating the session ID and so many other things as well. All the informations you will be seeing at the debug log. Debug log meaning that you are opening all the logs and seeing what is happening, what are the event that is happening, which is actually not required for us to look on those parts, okay? Now informational message, notice message, warning message, error, critical or emergency, these are the messages can be monitored, okay, most of the time. Debugging will have more information. Even you have seen that whenever you turn on debug, they say that it impact your performance of the device, or the CPU utilization might go high because you are opening all the events and seeing what is happening, right? Now you are having, or you will get a picture what is debug, what is log, why it is required, what is the use of it, okay? Now in the Syslog server, you can say that whenever you see any kind of emergency alert from the device, you generate a ticket, or you can notify the network administrator via email that we have received an emergency alert, please work on that. Or let's say critical alert or alert, something like that. So you can, for these kind of events, you can trigger network engineer that this is what is happening, please have a look. Now in this message there are so many informations will be also there. The messages that because of this reason we are generating this alert, because of this reason we are generating some alert, like that. Okay, like warning, it is recommended to configure something. Now let's say notice, update successful, warning, some execution status. So there are, it's not that it is a very critical and you have to take an action. It is just an information, you can just understand by seeing the name itself, informational. It is just a notice, it's a warning, there is an error in the device, there is a critical condition of the device, there is an immediate something that needs to be done, and system is not usable. Basically you have to take care of that. Okay, so by seeing the severity you'll understand, and according to that severity you can set the alert to notify by the syslog to network administrator. Okay, so let's understand, let's configure the syslog forwarding, like the log forwarding in Fortigate Firewall by going into the lab. So let's open the lab now. So friends, let's move on to the lab now. So this is the lab. It's a very simple lab that I have taken. So we have a LAN which is connected to port 2. Port 1 is a management, it's our PC where we are going to access the Fortinet. This will be the Syslog server on port number 4, and this is the WAN connection. Okay, so our idea is we will be creating some rules in Fortigate Firewall, and we'll be testing the connection, and we'll see whether those logs are getting forwarded to Syslog server or not. Okay, so I've already installed the Syslog server. I'll tell you the software name. It is basically freely available online. You can check that out basically. So friends, this is the dashboard of that, and last time we have upgraded the firmware for this Fortigate. Okay, now what we have to do is let me show you that I have already configured the interfaces. So interfaces are all configured over here. Okay, and I have created a very simple policy which is like from inside to outside, all, and I'm doing the NAT as well, like we can say it's a PAT, and we are logging all the allowed traffic. Okay, so this is a configuration that I have done already, and very simple. I have shown multiple times in my videos. If you are following my video, you will be able to understand it is very simple to create a policy. Okay, so now we'll go and we'll try to configure the syslog. Okay, so we'll go to the log and report and loss settings. Now there is a local log which is basically stored in memory. Okay, and there is a remote login and archiving. So you can the Fortigate is having, like, the Fortinet has a product line of Forti Analyzer where you can send the logs, analyze the logs, and you can do a lot more things. As well as if you want to send that particular logs to manager, because as manager is managing all the firewalls, if you are sending the logs to the manager will have visibility to the logs, and you will log into manager and you will see all the logs from all the devices. Okay, so we are not using that right now, so we are making it disable. Now we are sending logs to syslog. Now here you can mention the IP address or FQDN. Right now I have a IP address, so let's check that out. What is the IP address? So let me log into this. Okay, I just wanted to show you guys what is the IP address of this machine. Okay, so I'll just open ipconfig. Okay, so this is my IP address. Let me enlarge this. So 30.5 and 30.10, and 30.10 is already there in this. So what we have to configure, this is the IP address that we have to configure, 30.5. so 192.168.30.5. okay, Now cloud login as well. If you have FortiCloud, you can store your logs at cloud as well, which you are going to get it when you take the license. So I don't have it right now. Okay. Now here, if you like in the traffic log, there is a UUID for a rule, right? It is sometime relevant, sometime it is not, because when you are trying to find with the UUID, it is difficult because it will be there in the CLI. It's better to find with the IP address. Okay. Now this is the address, and basically if you try to understand this, UUID is basically generated for those which is stored in the traffic logs. Okay. Now, what kind of logs that you want to enable? Okay. You can send those logs like SDN, Forti extender, HA, events, and all those things. For right now, I am just sending all. Okay. Now here, if you want to have a local traffic log, what kind of? So local traffic log, I am not interested at all right now. So I'll now resolve the host name, resolve the unknown host name. So how the log should be look like? If that is resolved the host name, we will be sending with the DNS lookup, and we will be able to send the host name of it. Okay. So if you enable that, try to understand that what kind of host name or what kind of application that particular traffic is using, we will be creating that kind of logs. Okay. So we are good. It is basically, now in the policy, what you have to do is, we don't need any extra kind of thing. You just need to allow all the sessions, that's all. And even if you want, you can capture this. This is not required. Basically this is required when you are going to troubleshoot. So generate the logs when the session starts. Basically when the sessions gets end, the logs getting generated, but when it is the session starts, it generates a log, which is like, if you are enabling for 1,000 users, it will be too much, so it's not recommended. I'll click OK, and I created the policy. Now we will go and test the connection. Okay. So we'll log into this PC and let's see whether the IP addresses are configured properly or not. Meanwhile, I'll show you the Syslog server. So I've installed the Kiwi's Syslog server. I have taken this one for 14 days evaluation. So you can access it and you can check the logs. I'll show you how the logs looks like over here. So let's open it and let's see the IP address, IP config, which is 20.10, which is fine. Okay. Now I'll be initiating some of the connection, because in the rule also I have actually defined all the logs. So I expect the logs should be there. So I'll just go to google.com. Google is opening. I'll just go and type yahoo.com. It's supposed to open. Now, what we have defined over here, we said that whenever the logs come, you send to 30.5, right? Now, this Fortinet has to have a connectivity with 30.5. So if you try to check over here, execute ping 192.168.30.5. The 30.5 is reachable from the Fortigate. Now I'll go to the Syslog server, and this is 30.5 will open the web access. Okay. Basically it's a local host it not works properly in Edge or Internet Explorer, so I'm just using Firefox or Google Chrome. Okay. So it is getting open now. Not now. So I just copied and pasted. So it is hosted inside the our PC. So administrator, and I've given the password. So it's very easy to install, guys. There's no difficulty in installing this. Administrator. So guys, we are able to log in now. Okay, now as you can see over here, the filter is only for warning and above. So warning and above. Now we'll go and try to check all the events. Okay, so now it's fetching it. Now as you can see, the logs of Fortigate, now it is coming here. Okay, if you want to filter with some kind of IP address, what you can do is you can filter with the IP address. So I can see here, so destination IP is this one. Okay, and let me check the source IP address. So this is the source IP address. Okay, now with this source IP address, all those things are showing over here. Okay, now you have to actually go and try to check what is happening inside this logs. What is that? What is that? What is that? So you need to understand. Now by seeing this information as well, you will have so many idea what kind of logs will be sent by the device itself to Syslog server. Okay, now Syslog server will take an advantage of this parameters, and if he sees that, like for an example, these are the levels, right? Notice now if it is emergency or critical, in that case you can do some kind of settings, and you can say that whenever you see the level as critical, send a notification. Okay, now for now it is easy to find some kind of IP address. So let's say 192.168.30. Not 30, it is 20.5, I guess. Okay, is it 25? IP config, yeah, it's 20.5. So 20.5. Let me initiate one more connection, I believe so. Then we'll see. And also guys, if you want, you can put some kind of filter and you can find the logs as well. Okay, so it's very easy guys to configure or to forward the traffic logs from Fortigate to any external Syslog servers to analyze it. Okay, so guys, this is what I wanted to cover it. And if you want to download that Kiwi Syslog server, okay, I will link that particular application download link in the description box. You can basically go and download it. Okay, so guys, this is what I wanted to cover in this video. If you have got to know something new today, please like the video and also comment. I want your comment to be added so that it should reach to the maximum people, as well as if you have any suggestions or any kind of issues that you guys are facing, put it on the comment box. And for suggestions, you can send me an email, or you can send me a message on Instagram, Facebook, whichever likes you, whichever suits you. Thank you so much for watching till the end, and thank you. I will see you in the next video.